Mr. Caspar Zafer, Mr. Chase Coleman, Mr. Sir Danielle Gillies, and the lovely Ollie Ackland.
Sure.
How are you guys doing? Hanging in there in the heat?
G'day, g'day.
I feel like I like the heat better than the rain.
All right.
Take it, take it. Welcome back, gentlemen, lady.
Thank you.
This is a very testosterone-heavy panel.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, mate.
Wait, I can't. Can you guys all move forward like, down there? Because I can't. I want to look into your eyes. Thank you.
It's you.
I've been talking to everybody a lot this weekend about where we began and the casting process and all that stuff. And I thought it would be kind of fun to check in on where everybody's been since the show's ended and what everyone's been up to. Chase, I know you have a music career.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually really, was thinking about this weekend. I'm actually just really grateful for what the show has brought. All of this after was something that I'm pretty sure a lot of us didn't really realize was going to happen. I definitely didn't realize it. But, I mean, since then, yeah, music has definitely come up because this has given me a platform, you know, and it's allowed me to travel and present myself and music to you. And, yeah, it's been an absolute awesome whirlwind of, yeah.
Do you find yourself writing like werewolfy songs?
Of course.
At all?
It's a song called Beware the Moon that I have.
Really?
Yeah.
I love it. Ollie, what are your adventures?
Painting. I've been painting a bit. I sort of got the shits with acting, and I sort of during COVID I started painting, and somehow managed to get a couple of galleries involved, and so there are paintings available online.
I love that you're being meek about this. This is kind of awesome. I want to see. It's amazing.
Yeah.
How would you?
I can show you.
How would you describe your paintings?
I'd say abstract and sort of distinctly average, to be, you know. Yeah, I wouldn't part with the money, but they are available. So get online. Get online.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And producing. I'm producing a little indie in Melbourne at the moment. Yeah, we're going to shoot this year.
Back home? Is Melbourne home?
Back home. Melbourne.
I know Australia's home, but is Melbourne home?
No, Sydney's home.
Yeah.
Sydney's home, but we're doing it in Melbourne.
It's all kind of, I don't know a whole lot about Australia, but I know those two are far apart. So, Caspar and I today on the bus on the way here, we're talking about that you've been writing a book.
I've been writing a book for 7 years.
I'm going to, just so you guys know, I feel very threatened when actors decide to have writing careers. So I don't like this very much, but it does sound like a very good book.
I did an event in 2014. I rode from California to Hawaii. It took 43 days, and I started writing a book about it.
On a boat, you guys.
He rode a boat.
A boat.
And
to Hawaii.
We set a world record and blah blah blah. But
I'm sorry.
I started writing a book about it, and it was a little bit boring. We hit some massive 40-foot swells, and there were some interesting times. But I've now infused some ideas I have about this climate change and animals taking over, and it all happens during this row. But it's 7 years and I'm still going, and it's just this endless project. I keep thinking I'm nearly there, and I'm not. Well, you would know better than I about.
See, writing is hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah, well, no.
That's where this was going.
I was listening to Charlie Kaufman talk the other day. I just read his latest book, his first novel, I guess, Antkind, and he started writing that in 2012. And he said he would have kept going if his publishers hadn't demanded that he finish it. I mean, it's 780 pages or something. I can understand how once you start and this thing sort of unravels that it can be...
It could never stop.
Right.
It's a wonderful Ron Howard quote that you were saying this morning.
I was talking about, I listened to a Ron Howard, like a podcast he did, and he was saying as a writer, you're never finished. Eventually, they just take it away from you, and you can't do anything with it anymore, and now it's out in the world and it's someone else's.
Yeah.
One of the distinct things, and I think this it means something to all creative industries, is that one of the problems I've found that we were talking about this morning is if you have a few months away from it, whatever it may be, art, fine art, literature, whatever, and then you go back to it, you're a slightly different person than you were a couple of months before. And so your ideas and things are slightly different, and therefore it needs redoing. It's like, it never stops, so yeah.
I was telling a story. I revisited the originals to prep for this panel. And I was watching one episode, and I was like, God, this dialogue is awful. Who wrote this one? It was me. I wrote it.
I mean, the actor equivalent of that is that we go back to our scenes and we go, oh my fucking God. Like, just, what am I doing? I'm pushing. So we have those too.
But you can't change them, that's the trouble.
Yeah, we can't change them and we can't pretend it was another person's problem.
Literally was like, who did that? Me. It was me.
Ben Kingsley famously paid for a scene to be reshot. He went to the editing studio and watched it and said, this is terrible, and paid however much money to get everybody back on set and reshoot a scene he'd seen.
There's a couple episodes here and there that I like sometimes just delete from my IMDb and someone else puts them back on. Like, that wasn't me, that was not of the originals, but of other things. Danielle Campbell, in addition to starring in Tell Me a Story alongside one Paul Wesley, who, if this is traumatic for you to talk about working with Paul, I can... We don't have to talk about it.
No, it was actually such a blast working with Paul. I only got to work
giving
with
Paul shit all weekend.
In the second season, we got to work together, and the story changed while we were shooting, which was really interesting. And so getting to work with him was a blast, though, because we've seen each other at dinners or like whenever we were shooting Vampire and the original. So actually getting to work together was so much fun. Except he spent a lot of time on his laptop watching tennis matches right in between shots. And like, if anyone has seen Tell Me a Story, it's especially the second season is really intense for our story, our dialogue. So you can imagine, for anyone who's seen it, that like in between shots when he's watching tennis going, like rooting for his team, or not his team, I guess his
Danielle's like trying to stay in character. Paul's like watching Wimbledon.
It was really funny.
And then also, I got the incredible chance to travel to New York City and watch Danielle in her Broadway debut last year.
Yeah.
Thank you. Honestly, it was so much fun. I won't even like try to dumb it down. Like, I had the best time, and it was such a highlight for me. So I was really excited to do that.
Me and Candace and our friend Emily flew out and had the best time. Watched Danielle just kill it on stage. I was so proud of her. She like missed her prom to shoot our pilot, and then all of a sudden she's like this grown woman on a Broadway stage.
It was awesome. And then we had an epic girls' night out after. So to rain in the evening, it was perfect.
It was very therapeutic. Danielle, when you did, it feels weird to call you Danielle. Gillies. Gillies, when you directed your first episode of the originals, you had already directed a feature called Broken Kingdom. I guess my question is, are there director plans in the future?
Well, yeah, I think so. I'd intended to do something last year. So I had written a bunch of sort of 13 or 14 sort of page sort of short films. So I sort of wanted to do a short series of glimpses of this couple. And anyway, I showed them to a friend of mine, and he said, who works a lot and, as a writer and director, and he said, just let's make this a feature. Like, write it as a feature. Don't be lazy. And which is weird because
So now he's writing too.
I've spent the last year and almost 2 years now, like writing this thing. But and so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I would love to direct it. I don't think anyone's going to want to finance it because it's naughty.
I hear Paul Wesley's bourbon company is going well. You should hit him up. We were talking this morning about Meet and Greet. I got a really interesting question about choosing directors for TV, because in TV, if you guys don't know, we kind of bring in we have a bunch of directors that come in and do a lot of episodes, but we bring in people. You know, you're getting a new director for every episode, and you still want the show to all feel cohesive. So it's sort of it's different from film in that when you're shooting a film, the director's vision is the whole purpose. And like, you write a script as a screenwriter and the director will change it. Like, they're off. What you watch on screen isn't necessarily what you imagined as you wrote. Whereas in TV, we've sort of set the tone of the show with a pilot, and the pilot director, who was Chris Grismer for the originals. And then as we bring in directors from there on out, they get to like leave their mark and their thumbprint, but they have to figure out how to do it within the parameters of the way people are already used to watching the show. So having done your own feature, Gillies, when you came and you had to sort of put on a new hat after, 100 years of playing Elijah and almost 5 years on the originals, when you came and directed, what was that like for you as far as like finding your way between the show that you knew so well and being able to feel like you like left your mark as an artist? Did you feel like you got to leave your mark as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot more money. So like when I was doing Broken Kingdom, I had $500,000 and I had, 2.5 or 3 or something to do. And we had toys and I knew the world pretty well. And I was just...
The machine worked.
I just felt spoiled, I felt like so spoiled to be able to have all the, the cranes and the toys and the steady cams and the things that I couldn't afford to do on my own project, or if I could afford them, I could only afford them for a day. And it was just like, and I knew everybody, I knew the characters, we knew the world. It's such a luxury that actors get to be able to be able to direct in their own shows, because it's the ultimate training wheels. And really, those things are such well-oiled machines, and they know how the show is shot. So really, like, the most fun part is working with the actors. That's the most fun thing. So that to me was just, it was really
I
exciting.
know how much you loved working with Joe Morgan.
I do. I love working with him.
No, I'm serious. Yeah. I feel like as a writer, it was so special to get to work with him, and it was really cool to get to watch you guys. You guys give each other a lot of shit. So that was, people ask like what the pranks were on set. It wasn't pranks. It was like constant roasting between Daniel and Joe. But it was really cool to watch like you guys, and when he directed too, like sort of hand yourselves over a little bit to each other. Did it feel like that?
Yeah, definitely. And we, as much as we were joking, we desperately wanted them to succeed. The episodes. We really did. I'm excited to see what he directs in the future. He let me read a script of his last year. He'd written a horror. And it was fucking amazing. Amazing piece. He wants to shoot it in Wales, I think. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I feel like I'm hijacking the whole thing.
You're not.
Anyway.
Okay, so we have y'all guys lined up for questions, and we can start coming in and stepping up to the microphone, and I will hand this panel over to you. I feel like you guys have been out here in the heat for a long time. The energy's low. Let's all. There we go. Hi. You go first.
Okay, cool. Okay. Hi, my name is Madeline. I'm from Germany.
Hello.
And first of all, I love you all. The Originals is like one of my favorite, besides Vampire Diaries, of course. Yeah, sorry.
Get out of here.
I'm really fucking nervous right now. Okay, Danielle. My dream has always been like, can you say, I give you my word and always and forever?
I can. Yeah. No, I just said I can do it.
She wants you to, though. I think that's the...
Will you please?
I'll
Give
find
us
you.
your best Elijah.
I'll find you personally. We'll do it afterwards. It's gonna be special just for you. Just for you. But no one else. No one else. I'm not doing any party tricks for anyone else. Just you.
Wait, are you...
Yeah, for real. I'm gonna find you after we do this. But it's
I'm
gonna
be right there.
I'm gonna be right there next to you.
I'll make sure he finds you.
Whispering like a creep in your ear.
Thank you.
All right, good. Beautiful.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries.
I love you all.
I'll make sure he finds you.
I'm gonna be right there.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. My question's for Daniel.
Oh, telling the
You gotta step real close to the microphone, like closer than you think.
Hi, my question's for Daniel. Do you like Klaus and Elijah's relationship better than Damon and Stefan?
What do you think? What do you think? Resounding yars. Next question.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, my name's Katrin, and I just completely forgot my question. Oh no.
Well, your outfit's great.
Thank you.
Once
so
again,
much.
it was great yesterday. It's great today.
Thank you
I think it's for
much.
Danielle, isn't it?
It was,
Yeah,
but I got a new
yeah.
one and I just remembered it.
Okay.
Okay, so what was y'all's dream jobs before, like when y'all was children, before y'all were actors?
Did you say what jobs we were doing?
What was,
What was
y'all's
your dream
jobs
job other
as a
than being an
child?
actor as a kid?
I wanted
For
to be a
all of
real
y'all.
estate agent, and then my parents laughed me out of the room. So
Why? Why would they laugh at you? You're not a salesman?
I wanted to be a real estate agent desperately, and they just they laughed at me until I didn't want to do real estate anymore.
I guess like when other kids want to be like a fireman, that is kind of a weird dream.
I took a private pilot's license when I was 18, and I wanted to be a pilot. But my left ear's got quite bad hearing, so that was never going to be possible. So, yeah, took second rank.
So instead, he rowed a boat from California to Hawaii in record time. So I think you're doing all right.
I remember wanting to be a watchmaker. I know that sounds weird, but I wanted to make watches. Isn't that weird? I don't know why.
No, I feel like that tracks. I actually can see that because you are a person with extraordinary focus.
Thank you.
And you like to make things perfect.
Can I tell you what mine was?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to be a rollerblading Sonic car hop.
Wow.
That could
can
still be
imagine
in your
doing that.
future.
I was really good at rollerblading, so it just made sense.
Nice.
But I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds incredible. I want to be one of them.
Sonic is like I don't know if they have it anymore, but they used to you would pull up in your car and order, and then they'd like come out on rollerblades and bring you your food.
Oh, the waitresses on the roller skate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times. Cherry limeade. Yummy.
Very like retro 50s vibes.
I think I wanted to probably be like a spy, espionage probably. Yeah.
I loved Indiana Jones, and so I guess now I would really more consider what I loved about Indiana Jones was I loved like the treasure hunting, like that aspect was so cool to me. So now we can do that though. We can play all these things, which is great.
Danielle's Indiana Jones spinoff coming to screens near you.
Keep an eye out, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. I love y'all all so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Brooke, so my question is, if there's like a personality trait that you find that your character has that reflects like yourself pretty well, what is that?
Good
character
question.
trait?
Intensity.
Well, when I get
Stubbornness.
really, oh, go ahead.
No. Go here, just one
I
word.
was gonna say when I get really mad, I tend to like people levitate, blood happens, and you may or may
She
not.
really takes the work home.
That's why I was really good as Davina. So, I honestly, I think that's kind of.
We didn't have to use any CGI. That's why she got cast. Like we were like, oh, we can save some money with this one.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
What about you guys?
I don't know, like snappy dresser or something. What do you?
The suits were very good. The fencing, the sword fighting, not so much.
No, arrogant, impatient.
I think Elijah and I both share the quality of both being fiercely deluded that we're doing the right thing.
I have actually fallen asleep in a box drunk, so,
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, well said. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, my name is Jessica and I'm 25. I've been watching y'all for like 5 years now. I've seen it like 8 times. My question is actually for Danielle. I wanted to know how it felt from playing Jessica on Starstruck to being a all-powerful witch.
The Disney love is strong tonight.
Starstruck fans in here? Is that what's happening? Wow. How it felt going from playing her to Davina? You know what's really cool, I will say, is I feel like I really got to experience a lot of things as the characters. Like with Jessica, I got to be a tourist in LA, as a tourist in LA for the first time experiencing it. And though my car did not sink when I did it myself, It was a blast getting to watch it and to film that. And then I think getting to play Davina, like she was a teenager, but she had all this side magic happening, which was really cool. So honestly, I felt like I got to grow up with my characters, and that was really cool. Getting to do the originals was amazing because getting to do it over a period of years, you get to really grow. And yeah, I got to do that with my cast, and I'm so grateful for them. It was a blast. Yeah, thank you for your question.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
You too.
All right, ready?
Hello,
Hi, what's your name?
Cute.
my name is Riley.
How old are you?
Hi, Riley.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm 8 years old.
You are? Oh, when's your birthday?
May 2nd.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my, okay, happy early birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
You're welcome.
What's your question?
Did you choose any like acts in a fight scene? Or did you just have to follow what the instructor said?
Oh, that's
Great
Choreography.
question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
That is a good question.
So like our stunt people who like are the ones who tell us, you know, who walk us through what we call the choreography or the sort of the dance steps of the fighting, they're very sensitive to what we could do, how much we could do, and like what martial arts we'd done and things like that. So they would incorporate and use that in the how they designed the fight scenes. So it was very collaborative actually, you know. But they designed it together with us.
They
That's a
teach
cool
you how to
question.
do it so that you are always safe. So everybody's always very safe. But yeah, they would let the actors kind of show off their skills sometimes. That's a great question.
Or
Thank you.
lack of.
Thank you, Riley. Happy birthday.
You.
Happy birthday, Riley.
Hi.
Hi, sorry.
You can go wireless. You can dance if you want
Just start going. I'm Isabella, and honestly, I just kind of want to make eye contact up here, but I'll give you an easy question.
We're all wearing sunglasses.
I know, so I'm like, I'm trying, but I guess for Danielle, what's your favorite fan experience you've ever had?
Oh God, honestly, coming to these conventions has been the greatest thing for me because I've never been able to hear what this has been for all of you getting to watch it. Like we only have ever had the experience of getting to film, so getting to hear how much it's touched your hearts, and I've just heard some of the most incredible stories. Thank you all for your time sharing that. Like that's meant the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Caroline. I was wondering, are there any lessons or techniques that you learned while working on the show that has changed the way that you approach your craft now?
She's saying, did you learn any techniques during filming the show that have altered the way that you perform now? And I think it's a great question. Yeah. I mean, if you do enough hours of anything, you know, it's. Well, like the show was very challenging. It was always the most important thing and the most difficult thing, and like everybody was dying or crying or doing. Like I defy Daniel Day-Lewis to be able to do like what we were doing, like day in, day out. Like, you know, it was very difficult. And so yeah, actually, it was an incredible training ground.
It was a bit like theatre in a way, wasn't it? Everything was so big, and
so
it was a bit
big.
like being on a theatre stage,
Yeah,
which was amazing.
The stakes were so high, and they were always trying to outdo the last big thing that we did with another tragedy and another thing, and so it was interesting. It was, you know, we seldom did scenes that were just sort of intimate and small and you know and simple, you know.
I will add that the late night acting is training, at least it was for me, because like we did a lot of night shoots, as you guys all know, and yeah, sometimes we would start at 6 p.m. and go to 6 a.m. to get those sunrise shots. That is rough. So anyone who works night shifts, I have so much respect for you, because it's work.
Yeah, if you can pull it off while you're like deliriously exhausted.
Thank you.
I think I agree with you, Daniel. I just wanted to add, one of the coolest things as a writer on this show was that by the end we like knew they could do anything, and sometimes it felt weird because like you kind of want to learn what someone's lane is and like write to their lane. And so many of the actors on our show could nail a comedy beat, could nail like the most gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching, out of your chest emotion, and I think sometimes we had like too much that we could work with, and we were like, all right, let's push it to turn the dial to 11. But like I would say that any of our actors that were on our show for like 5 seasons, they could cut a reel for themselves out of what they did on our show that would just show this insane scope that if someone watched it would never believe that was all on one project. And that was really cool as writers too.
Thanks, Carina.
Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Hi, this is a question for Danielle. In this scene where Freya was stealing your ancestral magic, how hard was it to act that out? Because it was a really good like acting scene. Also, you look beautiful.
Thank you and thank you.
Is that the scene where she kind of killed you?
Yeah, right?
In the circle?
Like already dead. But
yeah.
Oh yeah, you were in the circle
it was the right
and.
decision? Because a lot of people hate on Freya for that.
They hate on who?
Freya for that.
Listen, she's a Michelson. She has to do whatever it takes to protect her family.
Trying to like remember this.
Okay, so we're in the Michelson compound in like the dining room.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what.
In the dining room, and there's a circle on the floor, and you're kind of dead, but you're on the ancestral plane.
Yeah, and I'm there with Freya, right? Oh, we
Yes.
coming in and out.
Yeah, and they realize that in order to save probably Klaus,
Yeah, probably Klaus.
they like have to like steal her ancestral magic, which means that you're dead. Then you're like gone. And it was the end. It was like that was when you left.
Yeah.
It was
That was when I left. Yeah. It was hard for numerous reasons. Mostly I didn't know if I was coming back. So I think that was like a sad conclusion, but it also wasn't, right? So it was like, I think what I really, I don't know. I mean, it's one thing if you know that you're completely gone and then you're not, or it's a different thing if you know that you're coming back. So I think I knew I was going to see all these people again, and I knew that I was coming back the story wasn't done yet. So, yeah, I guess it was really fun to play because it was kind of finality on set for that season.
When I think about like your acting, that scene and the one in, also I think in the same spot where you and Charles were saying your goodbyes to each other, like, phenomenal job. Best you've ever been. And I'm sure it was gut-wrenching. I actually think I remember you saying that you were like completely drained, like tapped out after doing that. There was a lot of screaming and crying and stuff involved.
Yeah, I think to answer the legitimate question that you were asking of the acting part of it, then yes, it was a screaming and crying is like it's taxing on your vocal cords, and it's a lot of energy that you're putting into to make it feel believable. So it's like your body's thinking it actually is happening too. So yeah, it wasn't like the most pleasant day on set, but it was great. The writing's great. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carina, and I was wondering what is your biggest pet peeve in a person?
In a person?
As a person. Yeah.
As a person?
Yeah, I hate junk mail. I just hate it. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It feels so environmentally insensitive. I don't want junk mail. Quit it. Quit packing my mailbox with stuff I'm never going to open. Like, I just go straight to the trash. You know? What is a little,
Anybody else got a pet peeve?
Yeah. It's the first thing that came to me was when you go on an escalator and you're in a hurry. Like over in Europe, everybody will wait on the right side and you can pass on the left, but in the US it just doesn't happen. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating.
I can add to that in that one of the most annoying things is when Americans come to London and don't know this rule. And they stand where you're meant to be walking and you're like, this is the walking
part of the thing.
All of my pet peeves involve airports. I think people enter airports and just like lose IQ points immediately. I'm like, pick up your bin when you're done at TSA and you make it easier for everybody else. And when you get to the baggage claim, don't stand with your shins against the baggage claim. Step back.
Let people.
Everybody can get in.
Yes. And then step up when you see your bag.
Thank you.
Continuing in the travel bit, when like the line.
You're infuriating everybody up on stage with this question, by the way. We're pissed off now.
When the line has moved on beyond more than a couple steps, like there's a massive gap and someone's just kind of, or they're just chit-chatting, it's like, I'm kind of like, okay, I know that clearly we're all still in the same spot and no one's being waited on yet.
Literally, I was on the flight with Gillies. I was on the flight with Gillies the other night, and as we're getting off, I'm like trying to get my bag down, and I'm like the front, everybody's waiting behind me. I was like having a panic attack. So I was like, I hate this. He was like, you're okay. You're okay.
You're fine.
Just put your bag on top of the other bag and roll it forward.
You're fine.
Like, I've never done this before.
There's literally like 3 people who can see her, like struggling with the stickers. And everyone else, it's all eclipse because they're blocked. They can't see.
You're okay. You're okay. Thank you. That was a fun question. Thanks. Really released some stuff.
Hi, I'm Callie, and oh my gosh, I'm so nervous right now.
Hi.
My question is for the whole cast, and are y'all team Claylee or Elijah?
I'm going to sit out this question.
Elijah.
Yeah. Elijah.
Wait, did you say me to answer it?
Yeah. What is your?
Elijah.
You.
Like, I love Klaus, but it's just like the tension between Haley and Elijah. It's just, I don't know.
Well, that's because we were
like
conducting
tension,
an
don't
affair
we?
during that. Phoebe and I were involved. That's real.
But I do love like their love for the baby with each other. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I was Team Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
I know. It's like a real character flaw of mine.
He was cute. What?
I love you, Danielle.
I love you.
Thank you for your question.
Hi, I was literally about to ask that same question. So, my name is Val, and I guess my question now will be, if you weren't your character that you are in the show, what other character would you be?
Of any show?
Who would you want to play
Originals.
if not your character?
Yes.
I said this yesterday, and I think it's still accurate. I'd like to be Marcel. Marcel was really epic. Like the king, right?
He had some swag.
Yeah.
Probably Davina.
Caroline Forbes. I just think Candace is so cool. I just want to be here for a minute.
Klaus.
Aurora de Martel, probably.
Thank you. I love y'all.
Thanks so much.
Hey, pal, how you doing?
Hi, Farouk.
How's it going?
You're the best. I'm just so happy to see your face when you come up here.
Yeah, this question is more for my own personal preferences. I already know my answer to this question, but who do you guys think had the most epic introduction into the series?
Oh, Elijah.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes, I always talk about this, was your scene on the Vampire Diaries with the change. And you threw it into the window. Thought that when I was binging the show,
bar none, no questions asked.
What? Oh, man.
That was actually my answer because, everybody has magic and all this other stuff.
Is that what you're talking about? What was yours?
No, it was Elijah.
Was that?
Oh, yeah. Because everybody else has all these superpowers. Of course, they're vampires, but he just was like 85 cents.
Yes!
Just lets everybody know their place in society.
It's coincident. Not a lot of people know this. That's actually what I got paid for that episode.
You just kept it away. That scene, and you threw it into the window.
Pascal was behind the windows. I was like,
I don't know if I can kind of cheat and get one more question.
I just want to say, I think that the reason, yes, you can. The reason that was so cool, was so great, was because it was like his coolness was his superpower. Like he did it so calmly. It was like he was flicking a bug away, and he just like shattered. It was unbeatable. Okay, another half of a question.
I was wondering if Daniel could, as Elijah, could possibly threaten my life.
He doesn't do.
Get in line. Get in line. Wherever the other lady is. I'll threaten you. Meanwhile, it's a bit unrealistic. You look like you could throw a decent uppercut.
I know, but it's just like he goes on with this so it's almost like a soliloquy by the time you finish threatening him. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. I'll put you to sleep. I'll injure you after you're asleep with my soliloquy.
He will monologue you right to death.
That's right.
Monologue you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
This is for Danielle. Hello. Hi. So your relationship with Cole, he's immortal and you're not. How is that going to work if you guys had super long jumps? Were they just going to kill you off again? Because I was not for that.
Same girl. Wait, so your question is how? Say it one more time for me.
Like, how would that have worked? Would he have given you your blood or his blood and made you a vampire, or
long term? Say we were still shooting this show 30 years from now, and somehow Nate Bazalik still looked like Nate Bazalik looks now. Which probably isn't that far off. Okay? No. The guy has a close relationship with Jesus. I feel like there's. I feel like how would you do? What do you think would have happened? Do you think Davina would have turned into a vampire? Do you think maybe like an aging spell?
I think Davina definitely. I mean, she's a powerful witch. I feel like she's got more than enough spells in that book of hers. Plus, she has what Elijah gave her of their mother's book. I think it's still hers.
There's got to be a section in those grimoires that are just like skincare for witches.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, yeah, I think there's a way to make immortality happen, and I think I could also see a version where maybe a vampire comes back in there as well. Who knows?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name's Carina. Are there any deleted scenes or scenes that you wished you filmed that were kept in the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had one with Oliver, actually. Oliver and I did a couple of scenes together. And I don't know how I saw the cut of them, Carina. I don't really know how I... Oh, you know what? Because the guy who directed it was... Darren, the cinematographer, and I said, hey, can I have a look at that episode? Because I saw his uncut. It was running 15 minutes over, but there was a cool scene with you and I and I can't ever Celeste. It was really cool. Went in the past, and you were amazing in it, by the way. Yeah, really great.
So we never saw it.
Remember we were sort of in the forest, and there was the fires, and we had confrontation or something.
Yeah. Lots of sort of like homeless.
You were breathtaking. I was mediocre, but I liked the scene.
We cut so much, you guys. We overshot every episode by 20 minutes and then had to piece it all together and make it make sense.
We had a really cool, fun stunt scene me and Nathaniel shot for Jackson and Oliver. It's on YouTube. It's a Jackson and Oliver fight scene. We did a bunch of it went into the night, and it was after I took the stones so we could control the changing. And I remember then I was a strong wolf guy, and he didn't have the powers, and I was throwing him across the room and stuff, and all that got cut. But it was a lot of fun. I wish we had seen that in the film.
Tristan had a make-out scene with Aurora that never saw the light of day, which we were both a little upset about. Yeah, that's true, siblings. That's probably why it never saw the light of day.
No. We had I think I told you guys, Game of Thrones was real popular then. We had a whole plan for Tristan and Aurora that was really messed up. And
it involved the piano and that's all we can say.
He was really obsessed with his sister.
Dearest daughter.
We kind of all are.
She's just so delightful in her crazy manic way.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Courtney.
Klaus Michelson is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's what her shirt says. That's not me saying that.
Hey, my name's Jess, and we have a question for Daniel.
What do you think the originals would have been like if Elijah was the hybrid?
If Elijah was the hybrid?
Yeah, with the same character traits and everything.
I don't know. I liked him not being that way because it meant that he had a constant conflict, in order to be. Yeah, I never imagined that. Let me think about that for a second. No, it would have been boring. I mean, because he would have shown some restraint that Klaus never could, and because Klaus couldn't, that's the essence of the show, right? His malevolence, you know?
The most defining thing I feel like about Elijah, well, there are a lot of defining things, but like the constant was like his desire to redeem and protect his brother. And I feel like if he was the like physically stronger one, he would have figured out a way to do that real fast. We wouldn't have had a show. Thank you. That was a great question.
Hi, I'm also from Germany, so...
Welcome.
Thank you for the traveling.
My question already got asked, so my new question is if you could have any...
Can you talk a little closer to the mic? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you could have any superpower in real life, what would it be?
I'd like to be able to fly without the use of anything.
You said fly? What was that? Did you say fly? Fly, yeah. Yeah, cool.
I wish I could learn any skill just by watching it once. Like that would be so useful and just so epic.
Telekinesis. I want to move objects with my mind.
Lazy.
It's up to me.
Like vamping in the club could be fun, like, you know.
Vamping in the club, is that what you said?
Yeah, vamping in the club.
I mean, I guess invisibility, but only because I'm a colossal pervert.
Thank you. I love how that just like landed into silence. No one denied it.
Hi, I'm Marissa. My question's for all of you and all the different types of characters you played. I'm really interested in like the behind the scenes stuff. So what's the grossest thing you've had to do? Like drinking fake blood, diving into the pool?
Great question.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to save that one for later.
So Matt Hastings directed an episode. We were in a pool and we're doing this, like, there was this sort of baptism thing that we had to do. The witches put us in this thing. I can't even remember what was happening in the episode, if I'm honest. All I remember is ear infections. Joseph and I, we built this stagnant water receptacle, and it was a pool thing, and it was so disgusting. And it was days before we were about to get a break for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Oh, it was the de-siring episode.
Yeah, thank you, the de-siring. That's what it was. And Joseph and I both got ear infections, as did both of our stunt men, and just spent the whole time like taking antibiotics and cursing Matt Hastings. Yeah, the water was putrid after a while. It was just getting in and out of it in clothes and people getting in it. It was nasty.
It's just people soup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? Gross stuff you had to do?
So
Lots of fake blood.
Yeah, well, I was going to say fake blood. If anyone doesn't know, if anyone's not that everyone's tried it, because why would you? But it's like syrup. Like that's kind of like really sweet, icky tasting syrup. So I guess maple syrup's great. So I don't know, but
corn syrup. It's gross.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good. Also, it's being covered in it. That's what I think is the most uncomfortable thing to me. Because like we'll get, if we have like scratches or scars or bite marks, like depending on how gory it is, they have like prosthetic things that they'll be putting on top of you. It's basically kind of like gluing it to your skin and then dousing it with the fake blood. And so you're just walking around with this sticky mess on you for like the whole film set.
I have to tell a funny Danielle story. That's funny now in retrospect. So there was a scene where we had to a rune was like carved into her head in like a prosthetic thing, and she had it attached, and it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. But she had like an emergency, like a family emergency happened while she was on set, and she had to go straight to the airport. And she forgot to take off her prosthetic from her forehead. And she gets to the airport, and
all got
people
used to it all day.
Yeah, everybody was
used to it. We're all I'm walking around with this all day.
And well, I guess I could let you. No, I'm a good storyteller. I'm gonna do it.
Great story.
She's at the airport. She's just like focused on getting on the plane, getting to her family. She's got like her ID, whatever. And people keep being like, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" Like, and she's like so confused. Finally in TSA, they're like, "Are are you okay? And she's like, yes, what? Why is it? And she looked like a tiny teenage girl with a symbol carved into her head and was trying to get through the airport.
The TSA agent just simply goes, and oh my, I was, and then I had to peel it off, and I was like, see, look, it's makeup. It's makeup. I'm so sorry.
Sure, as you peeled it off, they were just like,
peel your skin off.
Yeah, it was. You can imagine their faces. It was pretty funny now looking at it.
Wash your face before you go home. Also, another gross thing is most of the hearts that got thrown around were pig hearts that we got from like a butcher shop.
Or horse's hearts, right?
Yeah, depending on
I think
how
Jackson's
virile
heart was a horse's heart. I had to pull Jackson's heart out of a crash test dummy or something that was covered in the fat.
Oh yeah, you were the Jackson murderer.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry about that.
The Jackson.
That's fine. I don't apologize to me.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for your question. That was great.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisa. My question is for Danielle. I must have been living under a rock because I literally just discovered the show Tell Me a Story a few weeks ago, and I binged all of it in like 5 hours. So,
Thanks for watching.
My question is about that show. Do you have an opinion on which season you like to film better? And was it okay working with Paul Wesley?
For those of you who don't know, it was like an anthology series, so she played different characters in different seasons.
It was based on fairy tales, but it was kind of set in a modern day setting of New York for the first season, and the second season was in Nashville. And it was so much fun. I would say New York is such a magical city to shoot in, and I filmed in some like bucket list locations, like Central Park in the West Village. Getting to do that was so magical. So that's part of my answer. And then I think the characters that I got to play, Olivia Moon in the second season, was so much fun because she had a flip switch in her personality that got to be seen. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I think it's on Peacock now, and I definitely think everyone should watch it. It was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions. Hello.
Hi, sorry, I was told to stay over there. My question is for all y'all. Was there one scene that you were in particular that was like the most special scene to you to film?
What was the most special scene for us to film that we had for?
That you were in, or your least favorite? I don't know.
There's gotta be one that's like most memorable.
Davina had a really sick car, I think, in the second season. That was really memorable for me.
Oh yeah, the Cole with Danielle Sharman.
That was with Danielle Sharman, yeah. That was so much fun. We did a lot of shooting in the woods too. I think that was just I loved that car. And then also, when we shot the scene where the Harvest Girls were killed, essentially, that was just such a fun day on set. We were shooting in the night, and we had a rain machine, and to keep all of us warm because we were all drenched the whole time, they brought a hot tub on set. That was really cool. So very memorable day. That was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Any of the rest of you have memorable moments? Some of you got to film in New Orleans. Was that cool?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, because it's also memorable. I'm trying to find one that's sort of distinctive in a way.
When I filmed my final scene, my death scene, which speaking of kind of connects to the other question, I remember I drowned in my own blood. Basically, is how I died. So I had to have blood coming out of my mouth, out of my eyes, everywhere. But I remember it being very emotional with Jackson, and Haley was there. So that was a very memorable, emotional scene to film.
My death scene is my last death scene. I think
One of
I died
several.
3 times. Yeah, it was one that you don't normally have the luxury of shooting in order, but my last death scene was my last scene, which is kind of a nice goodbye way to go out. And it was with everyone I worked with as well. We're all there, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess death scene as well.
Not the making out with your sister?
Like drowning in a shipping container, screaming my lungs out. It was good therapy. It felt good. It felt right, The time was right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi,
One
my
more.
name is.
You're the last one.
Go ahead.
My name's Anna Sparrow, and I was wondering for you, Daniel, who is your favorite sibling?
You're a savage,
That's a great last question.
and you know it.
Give it an answer.
It's mean. It's just mean. Don't give me the answer. What, you gonna tell me who my favorite sibling is? Well, look, I spent the most time with Joseph doing everything, so of course, so he's my least favorite. Henrique, like he died the quickest, the swiftest. He gave me the least shit. So I'm kind of pleased with the guy. He was the one who towed the line. I like that guy. He got out of there quickly. You stayed in a box for several hundred years. You were pretty good. You're next, sort of in line, I guess. I guess if the totem pole, and then it's sort of Claire and Freya. How many siblings do I have?
Forgot about Nate.
What's that? Oh, Nate.
Bazalik.
Well, yeah, he went from, handsome to incredibly handsome. I'm not going to say which one is which. And he vacillated between those two entities. And both of them were marvelous humans. People, vampires, whatever they are. I don't care. Yeah, Joe, I guess. Because I spent so much time with him.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.